Hi, welcome to CalAm's Lifestyle University Summer Mixology class. My name is Eric, bartender at the Cactus Grill at Val Vista Villages. Today our spirit is going to be tequila. Before I get started making the drinks, I'll kind of go over a few of the bar equipment to make the drinks, what I have, what they're used for, shakers, muddlers, glasses. This shaker, muddler, mixer, all that stuff, actually purchased at World Market. It's a nice little starting kit. It's got your shaker, strainer, shot glass, which actually is pretty cool. This glass, which is right here, comes with different type of ingredients for different type of drinks, plus measure. So for example, this on here has margarita, and it's got little dots which you can put in to measure out your drinks, so you don't have to measure each one individually separately. You can just pour it in here, add the ice, and you have a drink. The two drinks we're going to be doing today is a Blueberry Margarita and a Tequila Sunrise. I'm going to start with the Blueberry Margarita. We're going to be using the shaker. There's two different types. You have the cobbler, shaker, cover. It's got the strainer right on top, and it's got a cover, which don't forget to put the cover on while you're shaking, otherwise you're going to have a mess. So what you want to do is just place that on there once you have the ingredients inside. I like to put my finger on top of there. I have taken it where you're holding it like this and you shake it and it comes flying off. Large mess. So if you put your finger on top of there and just shake it, that'll keep it from coming off. If you ever have any difficulty pulling the top off, which does get a little suction on it, if you just give it a little tap, it will help open up the shaker once you've completed and strained your drink inside. There's different types of glasses that you're going to use for margarita, just depending on what you like to do. I'm going to use one that I usually use for when I make old fashions. Just like the looks of it, holding it, drinking it. There's a lot of them that have a larger stem, much wider glass. I think the wider glasses, when you salt the rim, you're probably going to have a lot more salt on it. If you enjoy that, that's probably the route you want to go if you want to have more salt on your rim for the garnish. So the blueberries, the two different ways. If you're going to make just a single drink, a little bit faster, easier, and without any prep, you can take the shaker, place some blueberries in it, and then you're going to use your muddler. Okay, so you want to, probably a good 10 to 15 seconds, you're going to want to muddle those blueberries inside the glass, and then you can add your ingredients into it. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to make more of a puree, which I'm going to take the blueberries and equal parts of water and just blend it together, which I did make some already to try and drink it. It's not too bad. So I'm going to start by going over the different types of tequila. Don Julio, which is actually my favorite tequila, and then I have a Jose Cuervo. You'll notice the two different colors. It's just by how they are aged. Some are aged in barrels, bourbon barrels. It gives it that different color. Different types of tequila that you're going to run into, like a silver, a blanco, reposado, and the añejo, is about the aging. Usually when you get into like a silver, the blanco, it's more for like mixing, putting in the margaritas or making the drink as the Tequila Sunrise we're going to make. Once you go into the añejo, it's aged at least 1 year or longer. So that's where you're going to get a different taste and it's going to be more like of a sipping tequila, or if you're just enjoying just the tequila on the rocks, you may want to go into more of an aged tequila. With the margarita, we're going to use triple sec. We're going to use lime juice. This one actually is, I'm going to have a splash of club soda on it just because I have the puree that I'm going to put in it, just to balance it out a little bit. Once you go into more of a, what they'll call a top shelf margarita, you can replace the triple sec with Grand Marnier, which is very good. They both come in with or with alcohol. I mean, the Grand Marnier is going to have an alcohol, so it's going to be a higher content if you do make it like that. If you don't plan on making a completely fresh margarita, which for the lime juice, I like to just take the limes, cut them up, juice them out. That way you'll have fresh lime. You probably will tell the difference. If not, I got Rose's lime juice, which is great to use. It mixes well, it's easy, it's fast. When I'm at home making a drink, just one simple drink, I'm like, oh, I want a margarita, something easy, and I don't want to purchase a whole large amount of this, although this will last. I do have a lot of these little lime, and I have lime and lemon, just depending on what I make. It's very simple, squeezes right into it, makes it very fast. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to make my puree. I've got the blueberries, which, like I said, depending on how much you make, I'm going to make a single drink right now. Obviously, if you're going to have a party and you want to do like a pitcher of margarita or something like that, you just want to adjust how much you're going to use. I could tell you right now, this amount right here, which will get me probably 3 or 4 drinks, is about a half a cup of blueberries, which I also have. I have a cup of water with me. So we'll just go ahead and put that in the blender, put it right in there. We're going to blend this up. It's got a puree option, so that's what I'm going to use. The water and the blueberries mix together very well. Actually, just going to add this right into the other one that I've already made. That's it, and we'll be using that as a mix into our drink. Clean up is afterwards. Okay. So I'm going to be using this glass. Like I said, this is just kind of one of my favorite glass. I think it's a more common glass that people would have around the house to use. You can, like I said, if you get a set, there's also margarita sets where it's got different glasses for margaritas. Once we get into measuring the single drink mix, this is a jigger, which is a very useful tool. Gives you exact measurements just depending on how much you want to put in there. I'm going to be going with the 2 ounce side, just because I want 2 ounces. First, I'm going to add in our tequila. When you're measuring this out, obviously you don't have to be exact, but you do want to come up to the top. That way each ingredient is equal to each other part. So what I'm going to do is just take the tequila, put that in there, maybe a little over it. Anytime you get into making a drink and you see ingredients that you'll read across, most of them will have 1.5 ounce and it's equal to each part. You're going to go into each mixture it's going to make. So if you're pouring something on ice and you think, oh, I'm using a 12 ounce glass, you're actually not going to have 12 ounces equal to the ingredients because you're going to have ice in it. So then you would have something left over, which, I mean, I guess it would work. You just take a drink, pour the rest in there, but you just want equal amounts that will actually fit in the glass, which usually runs about 8 and 8.5 ounces once you pour that in there over the ice. So now, like I said, I have the limes, which you can go into, and let's actually cut a couple of these up. If you don't have anything to mash them with, you just cut them in half. You can squeeze them right into there. The lime juice that's going to go in here, the equal parts of it, you know, if you have a couple limes, you're going to have a margarita. If you are trying to make a pitcher, like for me, to go ahead, I could spend, you know, good 10-15 minutes squeezing out each lime and then adding it into my drink, you know, setting it up for the day. That's why I said I pureed some, made some more. That way I have an abundance of it. So if you're making it for, you have some friends over, you're having a party, we have Cinco de Mayo coming up. The end of the month is Memorial Day weekend. So if you're wanting to doing it in a larger batch, this will make it easier for you to do if you want to prep everything. And then you can just mix it all together as you're ready to make your drink. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just use the fresh lime juice in here, because I think somebody's going to end up drinking this. So since it's equal parts of the tequila and the lime juice, it probably is going to take you about 1.5 limes to get equal parts, which actually will turn out really good. So to garnish at the end of this drink, to garnish it with a little lime, I can use what I have left and just cut my lime and have it as the garnish. So I'll leave that aside for when we're finished and ready to garnish. Very nice. Okay. Now, my next ingredient is going to be the triple sec. Now, triple sec also is the equal parts of the tequila and of the lime juice. Triple sec is an orange liqueur, which if you were making the top shelf, that's where you would have the Grand Marnier take place of that. But today, just use the triple sec. One of the other ingredients that is going to go in here, actually, get that up there so you can see it, is a simple syrup. Once again, you can also make a simple syrup from scratch. All you're going to do is take sugar, water, equal parts, and then you just put it on medium heat on the stove, and then you're going to let that until it dissolves, and then you have a simple syrup. But for today, you can purchase an already made simple syrup. So this is just going to be a 1/2 ounce. So I'm going to go on to the 1.5 ounce side. I'm just going to place that in about halfway. Smell those fresh limes. Ooh, brand new. Any of the ingredients that you're putting in here, if you like it something a little sweeter or something with a little bit more sour, you can adjust your ingredients for the lime and triple sec, simple syrup, just to make it to your liking. If you like something a little sweeter or something with a little more sour mix to it. That's that in there. Okay, now with the 2 ounces of tequila, the 2 ounces of triple sec, and then the 2 ounces of lime, and then the 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. The puree is going to be half the ingredients of the tequila. So I'm going to put half on the 2 ounce side of the jigger. And we'll place that in there. Very nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. So I'm gonna use the cobbler shaker, which is the one that fits over the top like this, and you just put the cover on it. This one is the Boston shaker, which would be after you take the cover off and you want to strain, you would use this strainer. I feel like this one is a little bit easier to use. This one takes a little bit more practice. This one right here, so I don't have the ice or anything like that because this is going to go over the top of the ice. So all I want to do is give it a few shakes just to mix up the ingredients. Now, to garnish my glass, I like salt on my rim. I think the salt kind of brings out the sweet and the sour in the drink. Some people prefer no salt, but I'm a salt guy. So to get the salt, which we do use, I mean, you want to use kosher salt. It's a larger salt. I feel like it's got more of a flavor, brings out the flavor better in the drink. And you want to be able to, all I did was take a little bit of salt, place it on the plate, and I'm just going to take a lime. And what I'm going to do is I cut the lime and I cut it down the middle just so I can get it around the rim. That will help the salt stick to the rim. And then what you want to do is just place it and kind of roll it around so you get a nice cover to it. All right, got a little bit of salt on there. So let's go and add a little bit of ice. Okay, so now we're going to have our final ingredient for the blueberry margarita. Is just to kind of balance everything out once that is mixed. I have a little bit of club soda, which you just need about 1 ounce of club soda. It just kind of gives the blueberry puree just a little bit more of a balance. So I'm just going to put, well, just so people see, I'm just going to use this, that way you can measure it out. There we go. Alright, then once you have that completed, you just pour it over your ice. There we are. So once you've completed that, now you're going to want to garnish it. For me, for this, I've still got the half of the lime that I have. So it's cutting off the side. And what you want to do is once you have that done, you just make a little cut right down in the middle. And that way, it will stay right on the side. And I think just to make it a little bit more attractive, put a few blueberries in there. I have quite a bit of blueberries, so we're going to put a few in here. And there you have it. Blueberry margarita. Okay, for my next drink, it's going to be the Tequila Sunrise. I believe that the Tequila Sunrise was invented in Arizona. So it was made just by someone looking at one of the sunsets and trying to put some colors together to kind of make it look like a sunset. And also to add into a little bit of flavor, something sweeter for somebody that wanted to have a tequila but didn't want to drink it straight, wanted it to be a little bit more on the sweeter side. Today, once again, we're going to be using the Don Julio. Like I said, your choice in tequila is up to you. It's just whatever you enjoy, whatever flavor you like. You will tell the difference once you get into, like I said, you go into a Blanco, Silver, Reposado, Añejo. They all have just more of a distinctive taste. I think the Blanco, the Silver, is great for mixing. I believe it allows you to have a little bit of the tequila taste, but also have the stuff that you're mixing it with kind of stand out a little bit. So I'm going to put that over there, leave that there, and I'm going to switch glasses. The glasses that I chose is just nothing special, just picking out a glass, something that I like. However you want to drink it. Like we were talking about different margarita glasses that you can use. If you like the big, tall, round, some places you go, they have the grande margarita or, the supersized double margarita, and it comes in a big, huge bowl. If you like that, use that. Okay, so this one is going to be a very simple drink that anybody should be able to mix together at home. You don't necessarily need to use a shaker for this one. I'm going to use it just because I want to put the ice in it, and then I'll pour it over, and then I'm going to show you how I like to get the mixes together to hopefully look the way it should look, like a sunrise. So I'm still going to use the Julio, and then I'm going to use a grenadine. The grenadine is a mix, sweet, cherry flavored, gives a good sweet flavor to it, which I think mixes really well with the orange juice. You can use any type of orange juice you'd like. I actually had purchased a bunch of large oranges, and made it easier for me to squeeze out some orange juice. I'm not going to go through that process for you right now. And then once again at the end, I have some smaller oranges that I purchased that I think just for the garnish sake. Okay, making this Tequila Sunrise, I'm not going to use any of my shakers. Can't say everybody has a shaker at their house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just give this one a stir. First thing I'm going to do is add in my ice. Nice refreshing drink, so we'll top that off. Don Julio. And we're going to do, once again, we're going to do the 2 ounce pour again. I think 2 ounces is good for the glass that we're using. And once again, you're going to want to pour over the glass, because if you want to get it to the top, so that's the measurement, but you want to make sure that you're getting the full 2 ounces. And then if you do miss any, the tequila is going in your glass instead of on the table. Spilled anyway. Just another little touch. Okay. Now, I'm going to add in our orange juice. And when you're adding in your orange juice, what you're going to want to do is get it just about to the top, so about right there. Because you are going to add in the grenadine. I'm going to want to mix this up. Just a nice stir. These long stir sticks are really nice. It helps when you have the ice in it to get through the ice, and you're not trying to push all the ice around. So it works out really well. Now here comes a little bit of the tricky part. To be able to make it look like a sunrise, we want to be able to get the grenadine to the bottom of the glass. if I use this pour, I could pour on the side, maybe tilt it a little bit, and pour it on the side to try and get it run down the side and get in the middle. One way to do it. But once again, not everybody has these pours. Speaking of pours, I have that one. If you're at home and you want to do a simple measurement for your alcohol and you don't have a jigger, or, you know, well, you saw me spill a little bit on the side, these are measured pours. If I take, here, I'll show you a little example. This pour that's already on here doesn't have the cutoff on it. So what that's going to do is you want to make sure that, you know, as you're looking at the glass with or with ice, what you know, like, oh, I like 2 ounces, if you're not going to use the jigger to make it. Like I said, not everybody has it, wants to use it, finds it easy to use. If you have any of these tops, these are great though, to help pour. I mean, obviously you go to any restaurant, bar, they all have a pour on top just to make it easier for us to pour into a drink. So with the measured pour, it's got a little ball in it. So when you tilt it, so you want to make sure you tilt it. You don't want to pour it like this, because then it's not going to work properly, and you're either not going to get anything out, or it's not going to work and it'll just keep on pouring. So if you're relying on that equal measured pour, that won't happen. Stopped. 2 ounce pour. So there are things out there that you can purchase. Here, we'll add that next to our Blueberry Margarita. There are things out there that you can purchase to make things easier. Like I said, that one makes it easier. Some people enjoy using tools from, you know, going back into the day where they didn't have these measured pours, things like that. I enjoy using the muddler. Like I said, the Blueberry Margarita, I could have used the muddler and just muddled the blueberries inside the glass, and then just mixed everything with that, shook that all together. The reason I went with the puree, because it mixes a lot better, has a little water, and I think for the margarita, I think it mixes better, so it doesn't have as many, you know, like little pieces of the blueberry all mixed in there. I wanted it really mixed up to be able to make it easier to drink. Of course, that's just me. All right, so let's go with how you probably would have to do that. So you've got this at home. So I'm going to take the back side of this spoon, and I'm going to pour it over the back side of this spoon to have it just come over the side to reach the side of the glass, just to get it to the bottom of the glass. So you want to pour slow though. If you pour fast, it's just going to all mix together and you won't have the look that you're looking for. You don't want a whole bunch, you just want it to cover the last part of it. So you just want to do like a 1.5 ounce pour. And as you can see, it's starting to settle on the bottom. And for anybody that's kind of looked at the Sunrise, and I think that's why, so what I read about this was at the Biltmore. And this was set by making it look like the sunset that was in Phoenix. Not too bad. Okay, so garnish for this, like I said, I'm going to use an orange for the orange juice. So we'll cut up the orange. And once I've cut up the orange, you have a slice of orange. I'm just cutting it down the side. And then I'm going to give it a nice little half cut down the middle, like that. And that way, you can have it set on the side of your glass. One more garnish. I think a lot of people have the cherries that are more common, the machino cherries. Somebody got me the Luxador cherries, which are just a little bit more flavorful. It's got a very, very good punch to it. Here's one. I'll get that on my spoon. And I'm going to use that. They don't have the stems on them, so all I'm going to do is place that on the top. Once you've gone through and you've had that mixed in there and you have that cherry, you're going to be able to tell the difference. It's a very, very rich, very flavorful cherry, but any cherry would work. Usually I have a stem on it, so you have the stem and everybody gets the drink. They're like, oh, I'll take the cherry, I'm going to eat the cherry. And you kind of eat the garnishes before you have the drink. So that right there will be our Tequila Sunrise. So we have our Blueberry Margarita. We happen to end up with a nice shot of Jose Cuervo and the Tequila Sunrise. I want to thank you all for taking a look at the mixology class, watching this. Hopefully you learned a little bit something to kind of give you a little creativity in your drinks at home for any parties you may be having in the month of May. Summer's coming. We will be going for, so what you can look for in June, when June 1st, we'll be doing gin. So I'm going to do a couple drinks that revolve around the spirit of gin, and just do something each month a little bit different to give you different drink ideas that you may want to do for yourself at home or if you're having a party. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.